This is an AI transcription of an article from the naturalconstipationsolutions.com website. Enemas and suppositories can be very effective for constipation relief for your child. Using a suppository or enema isn't fun for you or for your child, but it may be what needs to happen to break up a hard ball of stool. There are things that you can do to make it stress-free for yourself and for your child. Enemas and suppositories are especially useful when your child hasn't gone in a few days and has hard stool lower down in their intestines. The suppository or enema will soften and lubricate the stool, making it easier to pass. Enemas go further up into the colon, so they are more effective for more severe backups. If you are stressed about doing an enema or inserting a suppository, your child will sense this and it will make them stressed as well. Act as matter of fact as you can. If it makes you feel better, you can wear latex or nitrile gloves. If your child is older, ask them if they have any suggestions on how they would like the process to go. Including them in the process will make it easier for both of you. If you have never done a suppository or enema on yourself, I highly recommend giving yourself one before giving your child one, so you know what they are experiencing. They will also respect that you are on the same team and you can give them a detailed explanation of how it worked and what it felt like. If you are comfortable with it, you can even have your child in the room with you when you do your enema, so they can see that there isn't anything to fear and that you aren't hurt. Warm everything to just above body temperature so it doesn't jolt them when you put it in. Give your child electronics to distract them or turn on the TV, and if you think it will help them, explain to them the steps you will be doing so they aren't worried about what is coming next. Explain to your child how much better they will feel once the old poop comes out. If they are fearful, it can help them to show them the steps of the procedure on a doll. Older children might be interested in giving the suppository or enema to themselves. Having this control might make them feel better about the process. If so, then talk them through what needs to happen and stand by to give direction. If your child is a teen and embarrassed to have you help them with the enema, sit down and discuss the process. Ask them to explain it back to you so you know they understand what needs to happen so they can do it on their own. If they don't want you in the room, you can offer to have them put you on speakerphone on their phone so they can ask you questions but still maintain privacy. Pediatric Glycerin Suppositories are safe for children ages 2 to 6 and will help lubricate the stool to come out easier. Adult Glycerin Suppositories are usually okay for children 6 and up. Read directions on the box to be sure. The glycerin will soften and lubricate the stool to help your child expel it. These are generally effective in producing a bowel movement in 15 minutes to 1 hour. The longer your child can keep it in, the more effective it will be. If you are having a hard time getting the suppository in your child's anus, you can shave the suppository down smaller so it is easier to insert. Just make sure that it isn't too pointy. You don't want it to poke your child and hurt them. Suppositories aren't going to go as deep, so might be easier for some parents to give to their kids, but they also won't break up a large hard stool as well as an enema. Suppositories can cause a burning sensation in your child's rectum, so if your child is uncomfortable, this isn't unusual but can make your child worried or scared. Coating it in coconut oil or another lubricant can help. Enemas work better on severely constipated children than suppositories. If your child hasn't had a bowel movement in many days or is very dehydrated, causing the stool to become dry and hard, or is not able to pass their stool because the stool is too large and hard to push out, then an enema might be a better option for you. The enema solution will travel 12 to 24 inches up into your child, loosening up their stool, so it is much more effective if your child is severely constipated. To do an enema on your child, have your child lay on his or her side on top of a towel or a chuck pad on a soft surface with their knees bent up at a 90-degree angle. You can rub some coconut oil or another lubricant around the outside of your child's anus and the tip of the enema to make it easier to insert the enema. Make sure all of the air has been pushed out of the enema bulb or bag before inserting. Warm the tip up with your hands beforehand if cold can make muscles tense and make using the enema on your child more stressful for them. Gently insert the enema tube into the anus 1.5 to 2 inches. Aim towards the child's belly button. If you feel any resistance, stop and back off. You do not want to push and puncture their colon. Slowly and gently wiggle the tip a bit and insert again. You don't need to get in very deep for it to be effective. Gently and slowly squeeze the enema bulb to flush the liquid into your child's colon. If you are using an enema bag, raise the bag above your child and let gravity push the fluid in. Once you have the enema solution in your child's colon, remove the enema device and have your child lay there and hold the enema in for 2 to 20 minutes to give it time to work on softening up the hard ball of stool. If your child is having a hard time holding it in, you can help by putting gentle pressure on the outside of their bottom to squeeze their cheeks together or have your child blow out like they are blowing bubbles. The longer they can keep the enema liquid in, the more effective it will be. If they are feeling a strong urge to have a bowel movement or at the end of the amount of time you have chosen, let them go and sit on the potty to release the enema and stool. It may take more than one enema to get the stool soft and moving if they are severely backed up and haven't gone for many days. The harder the stool is, the longer it will take for the enema solution to soften it. There are multiple types of enemas. Glycerin, saline, soap suds, and milk and molasses enemas are the most common ones used in children. You can buy packaged pediatric saline and glycerin enemas at the drugstore or on Amazon. They are one-time use and disposable, making them easy to do and you have no cleanup. Milk and molasses enema are very effective and are used by hospitals and ERs for cleanouts on constipated children with great success. To do a milk and molasses enema, use equal parts of milk and molasses. Warm the milk to 105 to 110 degrees and mix the molasses in until it is all blended together. Use a regular rectal bulb syringe or infant-sized rectal bulb enema or enema bag kit, which you can get at the pharmacy or order online. Soap suds enemas are made with distilled water and a liquid Castile soap, like Dr. Bronner's. Use 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon of Castile soap per cup of distilled water. This enema works by irritating the lining of the colon. The more soap you use, the more irritation it will cause. I would start out with a smaller amount of soap and increase if it doesn't work for your child. Heat the distilled water and soap mixture to 105 to 110 degrees and then use the solution in an enema bulb syringe or enema bag kit. If you do not have success with one enema solution or your child doesn't like it, try a different one until you find one that is effective and comfortable for your child. Enemas and suppositories can cause dependence if used regularly. But some doctors do recommend daily use of enemas for children who withhold, wet the bed due to chronic constipation, have motility issues, encopresis, congenital megacolon or a stretched out colon from being chronically constipated, to allow the colon to shrink back down in size and regain sensation. Discuss enemas and suppositories with your child's doctor if you feel that they might help your child if used daily long term if your child has any of these issues. If you are using a reusable enema bulb or enema bag, everything must be thoroughly cleaned. After use, disassemble the parts as much as possible. Wash in a solution of Castile soap and water or vinegar and water. The bag just needs to be rinsed with water. You can also flush the enema tip, tube or bulb with hydrogen peroxide if you are concerned about leaving any germs behind. Make sure to wash all of the cleaning solutions out with tap water and let air dry. Enemas can be dehydrating, so make sure your child drinks a lot of liquids after you complete the enema process. If you are regularly using enemas, the enemas can wash out the beneficial bacteria from your child's colon, so I do not generally recommend using them regularly. Enemas and suppositories are effective, but they are a short-term solution to chronic constipation. For a long-term solution, you need work on finding a protocol that will help them go 1 to 3 times a day, and then work on figuring out why your child is constipated. I have a course that will guide you through this process step by step. Go to naturalconstipationsolutions.com/resources for information on the course and for a free workbook. Help your child become a super duper pooper. I will put the link in the description box below this video.